Okay, so this is day 11 of the series. So what we introduced yesterday was doing 10 minutes of breathing, just conscious breath work. And typically what I do is split it into 2 sessions of 5 minutes each. So it feels doable, and it's amazing how grounding it is. And then I also kind of challenge anybody who does smoke cigarettes. I mean, if you're in South Africa, you might have quit already because they've all been banned. You know, there's this huge black market to try and get cigarettes now. But if you are a smoker, that you start to kind of cut that back as well. And then it's quite nice to tie the two in together, because oftentimes if we have an addiction to something, if our body is craving something, or sort of mentally we're craving something, so whether or not it's coffee, a glass of wine, a cigarette, whatever it is, exercise, some people just go straight to exercise. It's a nice challenge for yourself to be able to sit back, do that 5 minutes of breathing and observe what comes up for you. Like, why is it that you're craving that thing? You know, what does it do for you? And sometimes it's very easy to get wrapped up in judgments about it. Like, what does it mean about you? Why do you crave this or not? You know, and it's not about judging, it's about having an opportunity to observe yourself. So almost like a third person, just watching what's happening, what are the reactions that you're having to it. And that's why the breath work is so invaluable as well. So we're gonna implement that again today. And then what I'm going to be doing again for myself tomorrow is Thursday, is I'm going to do another juice in the morning and a smoothie at lunchtime. So it's a little bit of a mini fast for the day. And then on our last day, which is Friday, I'm going to do a full-on detox, meaning that I'm not going to do any coffee, no alcohol, no smoking, but I don't smoke anyway. No, none of those dehydrating drinks, etc. And so that'll sort of be the culmination of this week, which is going to end on Friday. So you guys, I'll send that to you, and you're welcome to join me with it or not. You can pick and choose, as I've said in the past as well. So do you guys have any questions about what we've done so far? About the classes, the movements? Is everybody's bodies feeling okay? All good? Shoulders, I know a few shoulder issues, knee issues, lower back. So please just take care of yourself today. And then our class today is going to be a focus on hands and wrists and ankles and feet. So you don't need any specific props, but we're just going to be bringing our focus and awareness to our ends of our limbs, basically, for the class today. All right, so I'm going to mute everyone, and you just need to please have a mat, and I'm going to be sitting on a block just to help me with my hips, which you guys know I need to sit up a little bit higher so that my knees and my hips feel okay. And just come and sit cross-legged, and I want you to bring your right foot in front and then your left foot in front of that. Put the flesh of your bum out the back so you're getting onto those sit bones. And we're going to be starting with our alternate nostril breathing that we practiced the other day. So use your hands on your knees to lengthen out through your spine and do just a few gentle side bends for your spine, lateral flexion. Just feel that movement through the rib cage and through the lungs. And then sit up nice and tall, and then maybe just go into a few gentle twists. Looking over your shoulder. And then come back to the center, keeping your left hand resting on your knee. Taking your right hand, and you're going to take your index finger and your middle finger, placing it just to the center of your eyebrows. Allow your eyes to close for a moment. And then using your thumb to block your right nostril as you inhale through the left. At the top of that breath, switch and breathe out through the right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. At the top, switch and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left nostril. Switch and exhale through the right. Continue with this alternating breath. Allowing your breath to be gentle and steady. Taking just a few more rounds. And finishing your last round with an exhale through the right nostril. And in your own time, keeping eyes closed, letting your right hand float down onto your knee. And gentle breath in and out through both nostrils. Notice the ease of your breath. Notice the clear passageway through your nose, down through the back of your throat. And just for a moment, stay with your breath and turn your inward gaze towards that little spot just between your eyebrows. And then allow that internal gaze to soften. Taking a moment to scan over your physical body from the crown of your head all the way down, over each joint of your body, down to the ankles, your feet, your toes, your wrists, your hands, and your fingertips. Using your breath to find ease as you sit there. Softening your muscles, releasing your joints. And then bring your awareness to your energy. And if you can imagine that your physical body is completely relaxed, it's going to be your energy and your breath that helps you hold this shape. It helps you sit upright with ease. Taking one more deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. And then keeping your eyes closed, just let your hands hover up off your knees. Turn the palms of your hands to face towards each other. And then start to bring your hands a little closer. Take your time so that you can really start to notice the own warmth and energy of your body. Maybe noticing how it feels. Is there a texture? Is there a color? And then just pausing there for a moment. And then start to press the palms of your hands closer to each other. So you might almost feel like you're compressing some energy, a little cotton ball between your hands, and then bringing the palms of the hands to touch. Lightly rubbing your hands together, bringing your awareness to the physical part of your hands, and then cup your hands just over your eyes. Start to blink your eyes open, bringing yourself back into the space, and then reaching all the way up through your fingertips, finding a little bit of length to the side of your body, putting your right hand to the ground, and take a little reach over towards the side, and then come back up, putting your left hand to the ground, and you're reaching over to the side. And just keep going with this side-to-side movement, or seaweed. And I want you to bring your focus to the hand that is on the floor. So as your hand makes contact with the floor, just feel how it rolls onto the ground. Feel the weight of your body on the hand, and then let that hand almost push you away. So if you've ever come from a dance background, this is how dancers use their feet on the ground as they jump, as they move, as they glide. So we're connecting through the wrist, the palm, the fingertips, and just bringing all your awareness to that connection. We're going to take just one more time, up and over towards the left, and then come back to the center, reaching all the way up. Take a breath in, and then placing your fingertips to the ground in front of you first, and that might be your position there. Maybe you can go flat hand, or maybe you can actually start to walk forward. And for those of you that are really, really flexible, you might even be able to place your forehead towards the ground, or bend your elbows and place your elbows to the ground. But just make sure that you're not forcing yourself into a position that doesn't feel good for you. Create as much space along the back of your body as possible, so you're almost lengthening the spine, no compression. And we're just going to stay here for a few more breaths in and out. And just letting your body maybe go a little bit deeper into the stretch if you start to notice that things are easing up slightly. And then taking one more breath in. And exhale, starting to walk all the way back up and sitting upright. You're going to keep your hand on your right knee, pick up your left foot, and just place your foot to the floor, just like this. And then right hand goes just behind you, left elbow goes to the inside of the knee. Lengthen your spine up, and then start pushing your knee gently backwards as you create a little bit of a rotation through the spine. So you're looking over towards the right side, and you might feel a little bit of a stretching and opening into that left inner thigh and the left hip. And then I want you to bring your awareness to your left foot that's connected to the ground. I want you to feel those 5 toes connecting to the floor. I want you to feel the heel of your foot connecting, and then notice the other areas of your foot that are connecting. So maybe your arch is on the ground, maybe the arch of your foot is quite high and lifted. Maybe the outside blade of your foot is fully connected or not. Taking one more breath in, grow a little taller, and then exhale and release and come back to center. Now, slide that left leg all the way out, taking your right leg, slide it all the way out, placing your hands just behind your back so that you're lifting up nice and tall. And then if you're flexible enough, remember you have the option to bring your hands forward. And again, start walking forward. Make sure that your hands are always supporting you. You shouldn't feel like you're hanging in the air at any point. And if you want to start coming a little bit deeper into the stretch, you can as well. Bring your awareness now to your feet and feel that your toes are pointing straight up towards the sky and that there's energy pushing out through the heels of your feet. Taking one more breath in and out. And then start to walk all the way back up, lifting up nice and tall. Now bring your left leg in front first, and then the right leg in front of that. Placing your left hand to the floor. Let's start going into our seaweed from side to side. And now what we're going to bring our focus and awareness to is the hand that's traveling through space. So before we focused on the hand that was connecting to the ground, and now feel the journey of your arms moving through space. And you can go slower or faster than me, really doesn't matter. And when you start to bring your awareness to that journey, do you notice how it changes the quality of your movement, or at least it does for me? I feel almost that my movement has to slow down with that awareness, and I feel that it's almost seamless, that there's no beginning or end to the movement. Let's take one more time, reaching over to the right, and then coming all the way upright, reach up, and then once again, placing fingertips to the ground first, and if you're able to go a little bit further, you start walking your hands out. Decide how far you want to go, just for this first little section, relaxing into the back of your neck. Bring your awareness again to the back of your body, creating space between each vertebra. And notice how your breathing facilitates that. Let yourself go a little bit further into it if your body starts to release. Taking one last breath in and out here. Walking your hands all the way back up. Lifting up nice and tall. So left hand onto the knee, right foot steps flat to the ground. Placing your hand just a little bit behind you, pressing right elbow into the knee, lifting up nice and tall, and then as you push backwards into the knee, just allow your spine to spiral. So this is called an open twist. Bring your awareness to your right foot that's connected to the ground. Feel your toes, your heel, the inside edge and the outside edge of your foot. Taking one more breath in, and then release, bringing your body back to the center. Unfold the right leg, coming into your straddle sit, hands behind your back, and then once again, lengthen, walking your hands all the way forward, or you can keep your hands behind you, lengthening through your spine, and again, bring your awareness to your feet, toes curled up and engine through the heels, And then spread your fingers out, middle finger pointing forward. You can close your eyes if it helps you. And notice the centers of the palms of your hands. Feeling your right hand and your left hand connecting evenly to the ground. And if you're really flexible, you might even have those elbows down, that's fine. But just still bring your awareness to the palms of your hands. Taking one more deep breath in and out. And then exhale, starting to walk your hands all the way back up. Slip your hands just behind your knees, bend your knees and bring your feet together. So I'm just going to come off the block so that I can balance. And we're going to just sit, hands around the front of the shins, rounding your spine, and then float your feet up off the ground so you're in a ball shape. And close your eyes for a moment. Just notice the gentle rocking action of your body with each breath. So your inhale, you might notice, pulls you back slightly. And your exhale is probably going to pull you forward slightly. Stay here for just a few more moments. And then open your eyes and placing your feet all the way down towards the ground. So just bring your feet a little bit forward so that you can sit up nice and tall. And you're going to take your right hand, so I'm doing opposite to you, and your left hand, you're just going to pull the thumb gently and then rub the knuckle, rub the skin of the knuckle. And then do the same thing. Index finger, give it a little bit of a pull, and then rub the knuckle. So there's quite a bit of loose skin over that joint. And then middle finger, maybe they crack, maybe they don't. And then rub the skin of the knuckle. And working your way all the way through. So we have fascia throughout our body. And the very first layer of fascia is underneath the skin. And this is just a wonderful way to help release it, doing a massage. And then baby finger, and then rubbing the skin of the knuckle. And then put your hand on your shin and just rub the back of your hand. Just rub all the way up over the wrist. And then give both hands a little bit of a shake. Now do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to go with the pull of the finger, and then rub the skin just over that joint. Working your way down your hand. So obviously, because our hands are very mobile, we need to bend them. We have quite a bit of loose skin over the knuckles to accommodate that movement. And we don't often pay attention to them. And for those of us that have the opportunity to go for manicures and pedicures, and then they massage our hands, I think we all love it because it feels so good. We never do it for ourselves. And then making your way to your baby finger. And then placing that hand down and then rub. So kind of brisk rub. And then, once again, just give your hands a little bit of a shake. I'm turning sideways. You can have your knees bent slightly apart and bring your arms out in front of you. Now, if you just sit here for a moment and close your eyes, just notice the energy that's in your hands at the moment. I mean, my hands feel quite warm and awake and almost like a little bit tingly, and that's just from doing that 2-second massage right now. Then open your eyes, take a breath in. Exhale, roll halfway back. Pause for a moment, take a little breath in. And exhale forward. Lengthen up tall. Using your breath to carry the movement. And again, curl forward, lift up tall. Now exhale, roll back, and bring your awareness to your feet. Do you notice how when you roll back that maybe your toes almost lift a little bit? And you notice now that there's more weight on the toes. And exhale, curl back. So sometimes that's just because of a little bit of tension down the front of down. If they try, they almost cramp up a little bit in their feet or maybe in their calf muscles. Keeping your heels grounded. And we're going to do one more time. Let's go all the way down onto our backs. All the way down we go. And just letting your hands settle right there. Walk your feet a little closer in. Decide if you want palms down or palms up. And lie here for a moment again with your eyes closed if it helps you. And bring all your awareness to your feet. Double check that you're not rolling in or out on the feet. You want all 10 toes connecting. You want your heels connecting. And then you can open your eyes and we're going to go up into our pelvic curl. So on your breath, do a little tilt to the hips. Rolling up into your bridge position. Pause here just for a moment. And then you get to ripple down from the spine. And release. Make any adjustments you need, and let's go again. Use your breath out as you tilt. And now as you come up into your bridge, once again, bring your awareness down to your feet. Take a little inhale. Notice if you're rolling or needing to move them. And then slowly come down through your spine. Make any adjustments that you need. We're going to do 3 more. So as you roll your hips up and we weight bear on our feet, remember when you're standing every day, our feet are our foundation. Work your way down through your spine. So if your feet are moving in any direction, maybe rolling in or out, maybe you're going into a little bit of a toed out or toed in position, there's going to be a ripple effect up through the joints, especially to the knees and to the hips and lower back. So notice as you're doing this pelvic curl, what's happening with knees, hips, and lower back for you now that you're keeping your feet in parallel. If you need to turn out or separate your feet, please do so, because it's just going to give you information about how your feet are acting as your foundation, and maybe if there's any kind of imbalance, tightness that we need to look at. And we're going to do just one more time. Take a breath in. Exhale, tilt. And now I want you to stay here for a moment. Place your hands lightly underneath your bum cheeks, and you're going to see if you can keep your pelvis still and your bum cheeks away. Press the right heel to the ground and see if you can lift up the right toes. And then we're going to switch and pedal the feet. Switch. Switch. Notice on your body what's happening. If your hamstrings start to cramp or trying to take over, then it's just going to tell you that your bum cheek isn't really doing what it needs to do. Maybe you need to come down a little bit lower. Maybe you need to move your feet a little bit wider. Maybe you need to do more of a tilt of the pelvis. Let's take 3 more. 2, 1. Put both feet flat. Bring your hands up to the sky. And then start to ripple down through your spine. And release. Let's open the arms wide. Breathe in. Hover them, go back and rest. And exhale. Connect each fingertip to its partner. And again, inhale. And exhale. We're just going to do a few more of these. And bring your awareness again to your hands traveling through space. Noticing the journey. One more time. Open your arms wide and then pressing the hands all the way down. Now don't let your fingers just flop. I want you to deliberately straighten out through the fingertips so that there's energy. Maybe you want to spread your hands out a little bit. Now walk your feet and your knees together and glue them together. Start to roll your knees to the right. And because they're glued together, your left foot's going to lift up a little bit as you rotate the lower spine and pelvis. And then exhale as you narrow the waist and come back to the center. Now rolling your knees to the left, which means your right foot is going to have to lift up because you're keeping them glued together and level. And exhale. Think about bringing water out of a sponge. Keep going from side to side. And you notice that I'm not going very far. And one of the reasons is that with my arms like this and really pressing down, I don't have as much movement through my shoulders as I might if I relax them and my knees can go further. See? So now with that energy through my hands, it's actually just containing my movement a little bit, which is quite a nice sensation for connecting into my abdominals. Squeezing the inner thighs. Keeping the ankles glued together, keeping the knuckles of your big toes together. Let's do one more time to each side. Last time with your knees going to the left. And then exhale. And come center. Bring your right knee up and towards your chest. Just have it there. Maybe you need to wiggle out your spine a little bit. Put your hands behind your leg and just flex your foot. Let's go into our hamstring release. And we're going to do 3 more. And quite deliberately flex your top foot. That's called dorsiflexion of the ankle. So think of energy pushing up through the heel of the foot. It's almost like you can stand on the ceiling. And now on this next one, stretch up through the heel of your foot and stay there for a moment. Point your toe and flex. And again, point your toes and flex. Now we're going to do 3 more. I want you to work through the foot and then peel the toes back and then dorsiflex. 2 more. So you push the ball of the foot up first and then curl the toes. Peel the toes back and then the ankle. 1 more time. So you're really working the intrinsic muscles of the feet. And curling back. And then just relax your foot, give it a little bit of a shake, and bend that knee in towards your chest once more. And placing your foot down. Bring your left leg up. Wiggle out your spine if you need. Hands behind the knee, flexing the ankle. Breathe out as you press up. And release. Two more. One more time. Press up. And now, let's point the foot. Work through the joints of the foot. And then peel the toes back and flex. Good. And you might actually notice like your feet get a little bit crampy when you do this. So oftentimes if we're wearing shoes or closed shoes for the day, we don't actually get to work the muscles of the feet very effectively. So that's why Pilates and yoga are fantastic because you're working barefoot most of the time. We have an opportunity to connect to these tiny little muscles. Like I said, it is your foundation, right? And then flex, stay there for a moment. Just relax your foot, give it a little bit of a shake, and then hug your knee in towards you, and then placing your foot over all the way down. Extend your legs out long. You're going to squeeze your legs together, and I want you to point your toes. We're going to be going into a roll-up. So if you need a pad underneath your lower back, or you need to bend your knees, do so. Hands up towards the sky. How far back can you take your arms without letting your ribcage pop? We start by lifting your arms. Then lift your head, look at your feet, and we breathe out. You're going to come forward just until your nose is above your lap. Stay for a moment, take a breath across your upper back, and then breathe out. Place yourself down with control. And then reaching your arms back. Now for this next roll up, feel your feet. So pointing your toes away. Inhale, lift arms, lift head. And feel the energy of your feet and your toes reaching forward. Keep your awareness on your feet. Take a breath in. Exhale, reach your toes. See if you can touch your toes to the wall in front of you. And floating the arms back. Now flex your ankles, roll up, and think about your feet again. Lifting arms, lifting head. Exhale, energy through the heels of your feet this time. It's a strong foot. Take a little breath. And exhale, down you go. Push your heels away from you, keeping the toes peeled up. And all the way back you go. Now choose, do you want to point your toes or do you want to flex your feet? You decide. Bring your awareness to your hands. As you bring your hands up, feel your hands traveling through space. Feel the energy through your fingertips, almost like you have the golden threads attached to your fingers that are pulling you forward. Take a little breath in. Feel that energy still. Exhale now as we roll back down. There's still that sensation of the fingertips reaching forward. And then going all the way back. And we're going to do it one more time. Lifting arms. Lifting head. Feel the journey of your hands through space. Coming all the way forward. Take a little breath in. And then exhale. Roll up into a seated position. And then just allow your arms to relax. So I'm going to turn to face you. And I'm going to do a mirror image. So sit however feels comfortable for you. But I want you to be able to access your right foot. And all you're going to do is give your big toe a little bit of a pull, second toe a little pull, not too hard, you don't need to dislocate anything. Work your way all the way down towards the baby toe. And then I want you to start doing just a little bit of a massage along the arch of your foot. And I know very few people who don't like a foot rub. So give yourself just that little massage along the arch of your foot. And in reflexology terms, this inside arch of your foot correlates to your spine. So when you go down towards the heel end, that would correlate towards the sacrum and the lower back. And then as you come up towards the arch of your foot, that's traveling higher up the spine. And then as you get towards the ball of your foot, but still on the arch side, that's coming up towards the upper back and the ribs. And then if you were to go over the ball of the foot and then just to the side of the big toe, that's specific to the neck. So always interesting if you've got a headache or your back isn't feeling good, sometimes this is a great release. And then if you go up the side of the big toe, and then push on the tip of the toe, that's your head. So the big toe represents your head. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So again, just give your big toe a little bit of a pull. And the next toe, work your way all the way down. then start to give yourself just a little bit of a massage along the arch of your foot. And just go up and down a few times, because you might want to just sort of check it out and see where you have any tender points. And then on the last one, go right down to the heel of the foot and then start to work your way up and just notice, is it more sort of like lower back area or a little bit more towards the mid back? You know, it's crazy on this foot. I'm feeling all those trigger points. And then coming a little bit up, and you go along the side of the foot and to the base of the big toe. And that would be your neck, is the side of the base of the big toe. And then if you go up the side of the big toe, that's coming into the head, and then to the tip of the big toe. So that's head and brain, believe it or not. And then coming onto all fours. So setting yourself up, so you're going to have your wrists in a nice comfortable position, spreading the fingers out, getting your knees just underneath your hips, and let's go into our cat stretch. Starting with a rounding of the spine as you curl the tailbone under, pushing away from your hands, and then start lengthening your spine. Lifting your tail, your heart, your eye line, and we're going to do another 3 rounds. So move at your own pace. But as you do your cat stretch, start to bring your awareness to your right and left hands, and then start to bring your awareness to the tops of your feet. Because oftentimes we just pay attention to our knees here, because we're kind of weight bearing on our knees. But if you start to feel the connection into the tops of your feet here, you're going to start to activate a little bit more of the front line of the body, because that's going to start to wake up the front of the shins as well. And that's that. Coming all the way back to center and hold. Tucking your toes under. We did this one yesterday. Start to move your hips back, and notice how you start to increase the stretch around the soles of the feet, maybe the knuckles of the toes, and then come a little bit forward. And we're going to do 3 more using your breath. And releasing forward. Last 2. And we're going to do 1 more time. So this can be very intense if you've got plantar fasciitis. So don't force it, just go where you can, all right? And then come back to the center. Now release your feet out. And now let's turn our hands backwards. So you're now going to have your fingers pointing towards you, and I can bring my hands all the way around, but if you can't go all the way, don't hurt yourself. And then if you want an extra stretch, remember you can start moving a little bit backwards and forwards. So this is now going to start to open up the front of the wrist flexors they're called, and this is also where we have that tunnel where our nerves travel down the arm into the hands, and that is called the carpal tunnel. And you might be feeling a little bit of a stretch or tightness around this area. Let's take 2 more. Let's take 1 more. And release. And then bringing your hands all the way around again. And then stay here for a moment. Middle finger forward, spreading the other fingers out. And feel free to close your eyes if you wish. I want you to start to almost push your right hand down towards the floor at the same time that you push the left shin, the knee, the shin, and the foot down towards the floor. So it's a little bit of a cross pattern. tensions across your abdominals when you do this. And now keep alternating. Keep energy through your crown. See if you can maintain that alignment of your spine. And you can stay in a nice slow transition. Or if you would like to do a little bit of a challenge for yourself, start to pick up the pace. 4 more, 3, 2, 1, and center. Tuck your toes under and let's go into a downward facing dog. So pressing yourself back, and then take your time as you pedal out the heels so you get that stretch along the calf muscles. Push both heels towards the ground, and you're welcome to keep the knees bent. And I want you to close your eyes here. And our focus today is hands and feet. Become aware of your fingertips. Become aware of your toes. Become aware of the pad on your hands at the base of your fingers. Become aware of the balls of your feet. Keep breathing. Become aware of the heels of your hands. And become aware of the heels of your feet. And listen, it doesn't matter if the heels of your feet are actually touching the floor or not. Do you have the intention of reaching your heels down? We're going to take just one more breath in. Exhale. Float your knees down. Open your knees nice and wide. Big toes together. And then just sit yourself back into a resting position. And we're going to bring the hands together in prayer. Stay here for a moment and feel each fingertip connecting to its partner. And then bend your elbows and taking your hands behind your head. Stay here just for a moment. No pressure on your feet or ankles. No pressure on your hands and wrists. Taking just one more breath in. Exhale, releasing your hands all the way forward. Spread your hands out. Draw yourself up again onto all fours. And then tuck your toes under once again. Lift yourself into a downward facing dog. And then lift your eye line to look forward, bend your knees, and take lots of baby little steps forward. You can go onto the tips of your fingers at any point, and then just line up your big toes with each other, and soften your knees and just let yourself drape over like a ragdoll. Take your hands and hold on to each elbow. Just let yourself hang there for a moment. So this is another little bit of an inversion, which reverses the blood flow and it actually forces us to slow down a little bit. Tap into our parasympathetic nervous system. And then releasing the bind of your hands, bend your knees, and roll all the way up into standing. and lifting nice and tall. Take a moment to just roll the shoulders back and around. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see what we're going to do. And taking your hand just onto the shelf of your hips, we're going to bend the knees. Tracking of the knees is going straight forward, and then we're going to straighten up again. And again, bending the knees, guys. Make sure that the heels of your feet stay grounded. And lift. And now, bending your knees. Just pick up the right heel so you stretch the underside of the foot. And again, bending your knees. Lifting the left heel. We're going to do 2 more. Bend. And stretch. Bend. And now, straighten. Now, stay there for a moment. I want you to wait there on that right foot and just slide the left heel onto the right ankle. So you can see that I'm standing fully on my right leg, but I'm lifted onto the ball of the foot on the other side. And then connect it to your center and grow a little bit taller. I'm now going to turn backwards so you can see what I'm doing with my arms. So if you've got your heel here, taking your right hand, and your left hand is not going back to you, left hand into the lower back, and then the right hand goes underneath so that you can find a little bit of a grip onto the elbows right there. And you should feel that it gives you quite a nice stretch across the chest and shoulders. And now close your eyes. If you lose your balance, please then just keep your eyes open, or maybe just lower your gaze or soften your gaze. And first of all, bring your awareness to your feet, your foundation. And do you notice the constant shifting and adjustment of your feet on the ground? Make sure that you're still breathing. And then bring your awareness to your hands, holding each elbow. And then follow that line of energy up to the shoulders and just notice the stretch or not. Just notice if you're feeling anything around the shoulders as well. Staying here for one more breath in and out. And then open your eyes gently, releasing your hands. Your hands come to your pelvis. Stepping that left heel out, and we go bend the knee and pick up one heel. And again, bend the knee. Pick up the heel. Now one more time, bending the knee and lift. So now you should be on the opposite side. So now you're going to pivot your right heel, I'm doing mirror image of you, onto your left ankle. And now you're going to put your right hand into your back first, and then the left hand goes underneath it. So you switch the position of your arms, which is going to change the effect onto your shoulders and your rotator cuff. And then if you're feeling okay here, let's try closing eyes. Start to notice all that feedback and information that we're getting from the soles of our feet. Notice that energy traveling from your feet up your legs. The refining, the constant readjustment, coming up into our pelvis and up to our spine. If you're losing balance, please just open your eyes where you don't fall over. And then notice your hands. Notice the grip of your hands on this side. How does it feel in comparison to the first side? And then notice that energy traveling up into your shoulders and whether or not you're feeling a stretch on this side as well. Taking your time as you open your eyes. first releasing your hands, bringing them onto the shelf of your hips, and then releasing that right foot down. I'm just going to turn sideways again, and you're going to bring both hands. We're going to inhale. Feel your hands traveling through space. Bring it all the way up so you can connect the tips of the fingers to their partners. And then open your arms, nod your chin, start rolling all the way through your spine, allowing your knees to soften, placing fingertips to the ground, and then bend your knees, make sure that your hands are working your balance, stepping your left leg back onto the shin, stepping right leg back, and then roll all the way up. And one more time, you breathe in, feeling your hands travel through space, connecting tips of the fingers, and then opening your arms nice and wide, rolling forward, placing fingertips to the ground. And now, if your knees are happy with it, just cross your ankles over and then sit back so you're in a cross-leg position. I'm just going to turn to face you, and guys, of course, I need to have my block. And staying here just for a moment. I'm going to do one more time, taking a deep breath in. Connecting the tips of the fingers, and exhale. Opening the arms nice and wide. Just letting your hands rest now on your knees, but now arms facing upwards. Let your fingers soften. Close your eyes for a moment. And we're just going to do a single round of conscious breath, counting from 1 to 10. Breathing and counting in your own rhythm. Don't rush. When you have finished, just coming into a natural breath, bringing your awareness to the centers of the palms of your hands as you sit in a receiving space with the palms facing up. Taking just a moment to observe your physical body. Noticing your energy. And allowing your breath to be the thread between the two. Take your time as you hover your hands off your knees. Turn the palms of your hands to face each other. Slowly bringing the hands towards each other. And with eyes closed, allow yourself to feel the warmth, the heat, the energy between the palms of your hands. And then pressing your hands together, rubbing lightly. Bringing your hands just over your eyes. Slowly bringing your eyes open, bringing yourself back into the space. And we take one more deep breath in, reaching all the way up. And exhale, big opening across the chest, and then rolling the shoulders back around. Nicely done, guys. I hope everybody feels good. Maybe just come and turn the volume on. Everyone connected to hands and feet?
Yes.
You feel them?
The
You'd be
massage,
walking around today. Ooh.
the massage is painful. All those pressure points.
No, it's crazy, those pressure points. And I need to actually take a look again. You know, I did that yin yoga teacher training. And there's apparently, I just need to find out where it is, but it's like somewhere up on this calf muscle that it's one of the intersecting points for, I think, all the meridians. So apparently,
Oh my word.
that point. So I need to go back to my notes, and if I can find it, I'll tell it to you guys for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Great. And then, so guys, we're going to have class